Peace and riches blessings. I am Michael B. Beckwith, the host of Take Back Your Mind. Peace and blessings, everyone. I'm Michael B. Beckwith, your host for Take Back Your Mind Life Questions, and the founder of the International Spiritual Center known as Agape International. I welcome you today, and it is my pleasure and my honor to receive these questions that you are emailing to me and seek to get into these questions to such a degree and to answer them. Once again, thank you for sending them. And thank you, if you didn't send them, for listening. Ivana from South Africa writes this: I'm a mother of 3 children, ages 7, 3, and 1. I've not had a conscious or deliberate conversations about God or the true nature of reality with my children. My husband and I have raised them with strong values surrounding love and kindness, to respect themselves and others, and we do nightly affirmations. My 7-year-old recently told me about the many religious topics he's learned from his peers. Now I feel nervous, guilty, and a bit upset that I did not instill a strong foundation with him regarding God, not the anthropomorphic man in the sky, and the laws and principles of the universe. My question is, how can I teach my children about God? What daily practices can we as a family start that would create a strong foundation instilled in truth, based on New Age and not a particular religion? We do not have a spiritual community like Agape that we belong to that fully reflects what we would like our children to align with. So I feel like I need guidance in creating that community in our home for our children, for ourselves. Are there books or texts we could start reading together? How can I raise spiritually aware and knowledgeable children? Ivana, God bless you. This is a beautiful question. And the first thing that comes to me is you're the first spiritual book they will ever read, you and your husband. You are creating the environment with how you want to raise them. I mean, you're doing nightly affirmations. You're teaching them about love and kindness, which are emanations. Love and kindness are actually products of a good spiritual upbringing. So you're teaching them the byproducts of a spiritual upbringing, and it's very powerful. So the kids' first relationship to God is through their parents. So your husband and you are like representing the presence of God. Love, caretaking, support. You have a really good spiritual practice here. And so basically, you got a bit upset because your son is coming home and he's getting some kind of religious education from other people. And so basically, all you need to do is let them know that love and kindness, forgiveness, these particular qualities, these are a part of a spiritual teaching. You said new age. We don't use the word new age as much as we use the word new thought, ageless wisdom. New thought, ageless wisdom covers pretty much all religions, because every religion has actually a metaphysical, mystical base. And whenever you have an insight, you have a new thought, and it comes from spiritual practices that are timeless and ageless. Thus, new thought, ageless wisdom. So I think what you can add to what you're already doing is just letting them know that they're surrounded by and infused with a presence of love and beauty and intelligence, that which most people call God. And as you've already written, this God is not really a man in the sky. It's a presence of intelligence and love and beauty that knows itself so that you're breaking down what religion really is and where religion is to take us. It is to take us into a greater awareness of our oneness with this presence that's what? Everywhere. Now, a small child may not be able to comprehend something that's everywhere at the same time. May not be able to comprehend what it means to be eternal, no death, no dying, no birth, no dying, or immortal. But most adults can't understand it either, because you can't understand it on an intellectual, surface-minded way. You have to encounter it. So going back to my original, you are the first church that they're learning. So if you add prayer, which you can begin to teach them, it's not begging God for anything. There's no man in the sky. Prayer is an inner receptivity to the blessings that are always happening. It's always happening. So you begin to teach them things like that. Now, there are some links that will be in the show notes. We have a youth and family Sunday class that's live streamed. That even if you're in a different time zone, you can actually have your kids, many people from around the world bring their kids to watch it. And our teachers, under the guidance of Reverend Leon Campbell Jr., we have every Sunday we have lessons and what God is and the qualities of God and how to practice God, the presence, you see. This will be in the show notes, but you can go to agapelive.com and go to the bookstore, and there's a few children's books there as well. But there are some other books that will be in the show notes as well. So I really appreciate that it says, I feel like I need guidance in creating that community in our home for ourselves. Also, there is a spiritual, I don't know what part of South Africa you're from. I don't know if you're in Johannesburg or, Cape Town or wherever. But we do have a couple of spiritual communities in South Africa. I'll make sure that those communities are in the show notes as well, because maybe they're close to you. You can go there in person and have your kids participate in their particular services. Otherwise, you can just tune into ours. So I hope I've answering your question, but your main intention is what's going to drive your household. It's going to create the environment for your household, because God that the kids meet is generally first their parents, reflecting the nature of God: love, intelligence, support, forgiveness, creativity, patience, kindness. As parents represent these qualities, they're meeting God through the parents. Then after a while, they meet God face to face through their own spiritual practices: prayer, meditation, study, and fellowship. Okay? Thank you. Now we have a question from Andrea from Maryland. She started watching your podcast last summer, and because of your teachings, I've started doing short meditations, life visioning, and saying positive affirmations. Since doing this, the things that used to get on my last nerve, like traffic, crazy drivers, loud and irritating neighbors, negative news, etc., don't bother me anymore. My question is this: there are things I want to manifest in my life, like changing my job, finding love, getting married. But how much time in a day should I spend meditating, life visioning, and doing affirmations? Because I know we're supposed to act like we already have these things, and then they will come. But at the same time, you still have to do the work. What's a good balance? First of all, let me commend you on tapping into the consciousness of unbotherability. That's what I call it, being unbotherable. That is a boon. It's a spiritual blessing. It's a sign that we're growing. That whenever we get to a point where we're less botherable about things that used to bother us, it means we've expanded our awareness and the trigger points have become dull. And so we can be in traffic. We can hear loud neighbors. We can see things that would normally knock us off center that don't anymore. So let me just give you a shout out for coming to a state of unbotherability. It means you're doing the work. Now, in terms of manifestation, ideal employment, love, basically, you want to have a daily practice of meditation, I'm not going to tell you how much time. You start off with 5 or 10 minutes. You get up to about 22. You can extend it after that if you desire or if you're compelled by the Spirit to do so. And you probably will. So you want to meditate to your best of your ability every day. And you want to have some type of affirmative, some kind of affirmations that you're working with that begins to clean up your subconscious mind, change your belief system so your perception changes. And then in doing the visioning process, you can actually say, and you can actually go into the vision process and ask the question, what does my life look like as a married woman? And you can begin to see what comes up for you that way. But if you're seeking to manifest a mate, start talking to your mate even before you meet them. They are alive in the quantum field, just as if you can talk to people who have passed over. We don't discriminate people who don't have a body. You can still talk to them. You can talk to your mate. The love connection that's coming in your direction, that person is looking for you as well. Say you're at home, you're by yourself. You can set up a place setting for you and for your mate coming and say, hey, how's your day today? I'm making such and such for dinner. I hope you like it. You can begin being in the field of what it feels like to be in relationship, your kind of relationship, however that's good for you. And you're inwardly preparing yourself to have a mate, you see. Now, in terms of the ideal employment, to manifest your ideal employment, you want to make sure that where you are right now, you're giving your best. That you're not saying, I hate my job, and you're doing the least until you leave. No. You're treating the job as if it's golden. You're doing whatever your particular task is as if you're doing it for God. And then you're opening yourself up and you're saying, I would like better employment, this or something better, and be open to the next stage. And what's happening is if you do your job so well where you are, that job will change, or it will be a birth canal birthing you into your next job. Your expanded consciousness will go into your next place of employment. You will have expanded into your next place. A lot of times people don't get to their next place with grace because they don't bring grace to their present place. But if you bring grace to your present place, it'll be the birth canal to your next place as you're sitting and opening yourself up to your divine employment, describing what it is you want, and then saying this or something better. I hope that's helpful for you. Have a beautiful and bright day. Everyone, I'm feeling these questions that have been asked are universal enough to help everyone. So take what's yours and practice it. Remember, practice doesn't make perfect. It is the practice of perfection that makes perfect. That means when you practice right thought, right conversation, right action, you're in that practice, then your life unfolds perfectly. You're not trying to be perfect, but it unfolds perfectly and you progress. Have a beautiful and bright day. Peace and dynamic blessings. Many of you have written letters about how much you really appreciate the Take Back Your Mind podcast and the life questions. So appreciate those letters. Now, our particular program here, these episodes, it's powered by spiritual purpose, but it also has powerful sponsorship. The primary sponsor is Agape International Spiritual Center. So everything that goes on here, Agape is behind it. So what I want you to do, I want you to support the Take Back Your Mind podcast. Go to agapelive.com, make a donation, put a little indication that you're supporting the podcast in that donation, or text the word give to 424-321-6243. Write the word podcast so we know you're supporting this wonderful program of Take Back Your Mind. The secondary sponsor is Neutralize. This is the company that actually produces my particular supplemental line called Adaptozen. I have the super greens, I have the Elevate fermented mushrooms, and a number of other products that are emerging. Just go to Neutralize.com, find Adaptozen, and you know what? Uplift your spirit, uplift your body. Remember to share all of this with your friends and support our wonderful sponsor. Have a beautiful day. Dynamic blessings to you, and the blessings from the Most High are always dynamic, robust, and magnificent and wonderful. I offer that to you right now, that you may open up and be absolutely receptive to the good that's awaiting for you right now. As you practice the art and science of meditation, you're making yourself available to the good that's seeking to know itself by means of you. Did you hear the way I said that? The good that's seeking to know itself by means of you? The presence of God that's everywhere, not a man in the sky. It wants to know itself as you. It's omniscient. That means all-knowing. It's omnipresent. Means it's everywhere. It's omnipotent. That means it's the only power. There's no power outside of it. It's omniactive, which means it is the presence of God as an evolutionary unfoldment in every being. But simply because it knows everything real, it wants to get more particular. It wants to individualize itself. It wants to know itself as you. But you have to participate. You have to participate in your own unfolding. You have to participate in letting God know itself as your life, the same way that a rose comes into full bloom and fully orbed. God is knowing itself as the rose. God's knowing itself as the peach tree, the avocado tree, the grass. God wants to know itself as you. And so you're meditating, saying, come know yourself as me. I want to know God. As Meister Eckhart once said, I see God through the same eye that God sees me. So you're saying, I want God to know itself as my life. Let's allow that to be our point, our jumping off point today. Feet on the ground, hands downward. As a descended master, we're bringing love and peace and joy and wisdom, heaven to earth. We're not trying to escape and get to it. We're bringing it. We're allowing the presence of the living one to know itself as our very life and being. So we stop in this moment. We give ourselves permission to sit for a few moments. We give ourselves permission to be aware that we're surrounded by love. If we've ever felt love in our life at all, any time in our existence, we just strike the mystic chord of memory and we feel that love right now. And we allow every breath that we take now to amplify, magnify, multiply that feeling of love. So it's becoming more real, more intense. And as an intention, feel into this statement, I am allowing the presence of God to know itself as my life. I'm allowing the presence of God to know itself as my life. I am allowing the presence of God that's everywhere to know itself as my life. God is not a man, God is a presence, pure spirit. And we are now worshiping God in spirit and in truth. I'm allowing God, this presence to know itself as my life. Sit with that. That stillness is becoming more and more profound. You're yielding to this vast presence, as vast and as limitless as the presence is. It must come through your consciousness. And you simply have said, I'm allowing the presence of God to know itself fully as me. It knows everything. I want it to know itself as me. Feel into that. Give thanks and walk with that today. I'm letting the presence of God to know itself as my life. Thank you for participating. Have a beautiful and bright day. Take back your mind. Open your heart. Live a great life. Your time is very valuable, so I want to thank you for tuning in to Take Back Your Mind. If you want to submit a life question, please do so. Email us at podcast@michaelbeckwith.com, and perhaps one day I'll be answering your question that will touch the lives of so many. If you've enjoyed the show, you might as well submit a 5-star review. You might as well tell your friends and family. Let's spread the love. Until we meet again, maintain your awareness. Take back your mind. Because when you take back your mind, you take back your life. Peace and blessings.
Become still and listen.